Feel free to do your job. No, stop! Have we still not gotten the baby out of the toilet? Why are her feet so dirty? Sir? Sorry, what? It's everybody's favorite time of the month. Much better than that other time of the month where we review an episode of TLC's famously entertaining Didn't Know I Was Pregnant and ruin it with educational commentary. This episode is so good. It combines everything that we love about watching these. Bad information, good information, questionable editing, and of course, the best baby names that we will ever hear for the duration of our lives. A very exciting announcement. We have a new second channel. Shh, it's a super secret channel where we upload several times a week. I will put a super secret link, super secretly hidden in the description box below. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, KiwiCo. We'll hear more about them in a minute.
Okay, so which do you like? Do you like this one or this one?
In January of 2008, 27-year-old Jenna and her...
Please tell me that's not supposed to be wedding dresses that she's just wadding up. Which one do you like, this one or this one?
I was on like a very low dose kind of birth control.
Low-dose birth control pills are often prescribed because they are safest at their lowest effective dose, and it minimizes side effects and risk.
Most birth control in general is a pretty similar dose. So we do technically have the ones that we call like low dose with regards to how much estrogen is in them and higher dose with regards to how much estrogen. But the difference is fairly small, 20 micrograms to about 35 micrograms, so only a 15 microgram difference between low and high. Traditionally, high dose birth control pills were like way more estrogen than any pill has now. So really all of the pills that we use now are low dose, and the side effect and risk profile between a current day and age low dose versus high dose birth control is fairly similar. There's reasons to be on a lower dose and a higher dose, and the risk profiles are probably marginally different, but not in the way that we look back to like birth control pills in the 70s and we see way higher doses that had way worse side effects and risks.
The doctors at the time gave me an antibiotic to take the urinary tract infection.
While taking the antibiotic, Jenna doesn't use a backup form of birth control.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say, don't you? Antibiotics, for the most part, do not interfere with your birth control. Almost no antibiotics are going to make your birth control ineffective. Rifampin is a medication that is prescribed most frequently for tuberculosis, maybe for other reasons sometimes, and that one can interfere, but most antibiotics don't.
I did take a pregnancy test just to like ease my mind.
Take a pregnancy test.
It's negative.
I was very relieved.
She took a pregnancy test. She did everything right, okay? So now what's our feedback from here? Well, take another one, but again, I wouldn't fault anyone for being in this position, missing a period, taking a pregnancy test, it was negative. The reasons that a test could be negative when you're actually pregnant could be that you took it too early and the hormone levels just weren't high enough to show up positive. Could be a faulty test. That is quite rare, but it happens. I would say if you miss another period or you still haven't started, after a couple of weeks after you've taken that pregnancy test, go ahead and take another one and probably go ahead and get in with somebody to see if they can get you a blood test if they're coming up negative and your period hasn't come back. But again, that's only just feedback for you to have information. I would never fault someone for being in this position and not knowing they were pregnant. Stress can make your period late. That happens. That's a real thing that happens. And I think, she did everything right.
After months of anxious planning, the big day finally arrives.
It was fun. Big Italian wedding.
Your mom's crying.
She looked beautiful.
The actors are usually terrible in this, but that was such a cute little improvisation. Oh, your mom's crying.
Your mom's crying.
On October 31st, just a few months after the wedding.
Oh, man.
I just kept telling him that I have to go to the bathroom and I can't go. I thought I had to take a bowel movement that wouldn't come out.
I had become increasingly concerned.
We know what's going to happen, and we've seen this before, okay? But I want you to pay close attention to how they describe this, because it's always really fascinating to me how they describe the process of thinking that they're constipating when they end up delivering a baby. It's just fascinating to me.
Honey? Her screams sounded very painful.
I pushed as hard as I could. With the pain, I thought I was releasing a poop. That's all it was.
No, stop! The sound effect! Why didn't know I was pregnant? Why would you do that? Did y'all hear that?
That's all it was.
You're fired, TLC.
Jenna's relief will soon turn to horror. True or false? For most pregnant women, having their water break is the first sign of labor. The answer when we return.
What are you doing? Hey, come here. Why are you so excited?
Because we're gonna get kiwi cones, and it's gonna be fun!
Finding things in life that kids want to do which are actually good for them often feels like an insurmountable task, but KiwiCo checks both of those boxes. KiwiCo is a monthly crate designed by experts to teach kids STEAM topics like science, technology, engineering, art, and math in a way that prioritizes hands-on learning and fun. If there is a child in your life, KiwiCo is the perfect gift for them. We've been getting KiwiCo crates for years now, and my kids still get so excited every time the box arrives. It is so much more than a gift. This is the perfect combination of quality time, fun, and hands-on learning, allowing your kids to really use their brain and be excited about what they're creating. The kids lean into helping each other with problem solving, and they love showing off their finished project when they're done.
You have to look at this.
Cool, Milo, you made that.
I find KiwiCo to be such an enjoyable way to encourage my kids to develop their problem-solving skills and engage their brains in a way that they find enjoyable and fun. Each crate comes with everything you need, so there's no running to the store to grab extra supplies, and all of the kits have kid-friendly, age-appropriate instructions, which really lets them all kind of take the lead on their individual project. So if you'd like to try out KiwiCo and support my channel in the process, you can get 50% off your first month's crate by going to kiwico.com/MDJ or using my link in the description box down below. Now, let's get back to the video.
True or false? For most pregnant women, having their water break is the first sign of labor. Answer, false.
Why are her feet so dirty? Not that my feet have never been dirty. Don't get me wrong. You know, running around outside with no shoes on is one of my favorite things to do, but come on. Why would they not have the actress wash her feet? She's been wearing flip-flops around, running around, getting ready for this day, getting her hair done, making sure everything was good to film this. And, you know, they just let her dirty feet be in the shot. Drew, come back! That is a fairly realistic looking umbilical cord.
There was a cord coming out
Get
from
the
Jenna
baby out!
down into the toilet. That was absolutely terrifying. This tiny mush of what was almost like a little person.
Sorry, what?
Tiny mush of what was almost like a little person.
Sir? I could be wrong, but most of these didn't know I was pregnant episodes do end in a small person who is your kid. So that is a very weird description.
She is completely out of it, so I raced over and got the phone.
Have we still not gotten the baby out of the toilet? We're going to use the phone first. Hold the baby. Then phone.
The blood was just like, at this point, was just coming out of me.
Then the newborn starts to cry.
I was like, oh my God, the baby's alive. Honey, we're gonna get you up. I need to get the baby, okay?
I remember bits and pieces. I think I was in shock.
The operator said, pick up the child and wrap it in something, keep it very close to you.
Obviously, these people are in shock. In the moment, of course. Nobody's going to fault you for being in that situation and panicking a little bit. Of course you're in shock and you don't know what to do. None of us know how we would react to that. And then she's also still sitting there and describes a lot of blood loss, which I'm sure is equally shocking. And yeah, I mean, I get it.
Jenna just seemed to be in this overwhelming shock. It's gonna be all right.
Drew then realizes he's holding a baby girl.
She's seen
Look at that 3-month-old. It's so cute.
the paramedics showed up on spot. Jenna is just looking worse by the minute. She seems a little less and less responsive.
I was worried that I wasn't going to survive because I lost so much blood.
The paramedics said, would you like to cut the cord? I'm like, no, just you're a professional. You know what you're doing.
Would you like to cut the cord? No, sir. Actually, I was not expecting this today. And also, that's your job. Someone's paying you to be a professional. Go ahead and feel free to do your job, sir.
The baby is rushed to the neonatal intensive care unit, while Jenna faces a life and death struggle.
I was absolutely terrified. My God, if Jenna dies, what am I gonna do? I don't know how I can care for a baby by myself.
That is horrible, and I feel so bad for him. Can you imagine going through that? You've just recently become newlyweds, and now you think that your significant other is going to die, and there's a baby that you weren't expecting in the NICU. That is... my heart just like... That's terrifying and sad. I cannot imagine.
Didn't even have time for administer a local anesthetic.
There is always time to administer a local anesthetic unless somebody is unconscious. If there's not time, then you should put them under a general anesthetic. This is crazy. We do not stitch postpartum lacerations with no anesthetic. I have heard people say this many times, that their doctor refused to use a local anesthetic. Bull. Unacceptable. If you want a local anesthetic to sew up your perineum after you have had a tear during childbirth, and somebody tells you no, you tell them, I will not take you as my doctor. Please find somebody else. If they say it's because you're bleeding too much, then put me to sleep. This is an emergency. Take me to the operating room and put me to sleep. If this is an emergency, I will meet you in the operating room. In this situation, we have a very easy to use, very safe, and very effective way to decrease pain. And also, local anesthetic, particularly when it has epinephrine or adrenaline in it, also can decrease bleeding. It's silly.
I don't think I had time to think it over. I'm like, oh God, like I had a baby, now what?
Is she healthy? Birth defects? How premature is she? And the doctor looks at me and he laughs because she's full term.
And she seems fine.
Couldn't have felt more relieved.
Y'all probably can say it with me, okay? What do I always say? We do the best we can with the information that we have. And obviously this is applicable in so many situations in life. And I think always in these videos, which is why I always say it in these videos, can drinking throughout a pregnancy cause problems? Absolutely. That's why if you know you're pregnant, you avoid it. This person presumably went through every avenue they knew to try and figure out if they were pregnant. They seemed to still be having bleeding and had a negative pregnancy test, was occasionally having bleeding, thought it was their period. What can you do? You did the best you could with the information that you had at the time. You have to let yourself feel those feelings. Obviously, I'm not saying we can't feel guilt. There's room for that as well. But feel those feelings, process them, and then commit to yourself to let them go. Don't ignore them. Don't stuff them down. Don't say they're not valid, because any feeling that we have is valid. It's just a matter of process it, understand why it's there, and then decide to let it go. If it's not making you better and it's only causing worry, just decide to let it go.
Jenna and Drew won't ever forget their frightening Halloween.
That baby's so...
We decided to name her Jacqueline, like a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, stop! 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 Y'all know I am a sucker for a good, meaningful name. That this one has a pun, and oh my gosh, that is the best name I've ever heard. I can't. It's so good. It's so cute. It's so cute.
I think I conceived Jackie the end of January or the beginning of February. The doctors at the time gave me an antibiotic to take for the UTI infection.
Some antibiotics may decrease the efficiency of a birth control pill.
They don't always give up-to-date advice on this. Like, it's fine to use a backup method if you're just nervous. I'm just letting you know what the actual up-to-date literature says on this topic. Look at her. She's so cute. Don't forget to check out the wonderful sponsor of today's video, KiwiCo. And if you want to subscribe to the super secret second channel for even more content, you can do so right here. I will see you next Monday or Friday. Today's Friday. I've been uploading Friday and Monday sometimes, so I'll see you on Monday or Friday or both. I'll see you when I upload next.